Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to our Monsters video. So in today's video, I'm back with another monster review. I'm going to be reviewing the monster wingsuit, the one that was available in the most recent breeding event. I'm going to be leveling him up from level 1 up to 100 and then take it to PvP and see how good he is, okay? So I hope you guys are excited. If you are, drop a like and also subscribe to the channel with notifications on. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we got the egg right here. I'm going to speed this up real quick. So this is wingsuit right here, and I get 2 rooms that's open. Alright, so I'm going to be hatching it right about here. Let's go ahead and place it. And this is what the animation looks like. Okay, guys. Let's see what it looks like. The ultimate. Okay. Okay. Alright, interesting. And that was what? That was 808. Alright, so take a look at the traits. You have Harden at rank 0, which is actually not that bad. It comes in handy in some cases. And then you have cooldown activation or cooldown immunity activation, if you want to call it that, at rank 1. So basically it gives you immunity to cooldown activation. So when the enemy tries to hit you with that, as long as you got the trait, you'll be golden. And then at rank 3, you have the status caster self-dodge area. So this right here, it's not really that big of a deal in my opinion, because here's the thing, he has extra turn skills, right? So that self-dodge area will run out eventually. Like, it's not like it's a permanent trait, you know what I mean? But it is nice to have if the enemy is taking the first turn and let's say they're going to attack you or something, you know, that thing's kind of nice. So yeah, unfortunately it's not a trait though. So I'm going to go on and level it up to like level 100, but while I'm leveling this monster up to level 100, I do want to mention something though. That dodge area, that's actually a nice thing to have. So right now anticipation isn't really a big problem because we don't have a anticipated corrupted mythic monster at the moment, right? So that's really not a big deal. Now even if you end up going up against like a Hardy or something like that that has anticipation, it's not a big deal as long as you run this monster with a Megaton or something like that, because the AoE skills, they won't really land on this monster. So you could even run it with a taunt monster. Taunt would be perfect. Taunt would be perfect because then the AoE skills won't really land on this monster, but the single targets will be directed towards your taunt, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. You have about 8,536 strength, which is actually quite good, I've got to say. Now comparing it to the other corrupted mythic monsters that are out right now, that strength is actually pretty good. And then you have 86,860 life. That's actually good as well. And then speed 6,248. That speed could have been better, but that's quite average, I've got to say. It's decent. So yeah, could have been better though, but quite decent. Let's go ahead and take a look at the skills. Now before I take a look at the skills, I'm going to show you guys the ultimate. So the ultimate, it's called Pure Tanto. Let's just call it that. Tanto Justu. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not sure if I did it right, but it's a heavy water damage to all enemies, applies drown to all enemies, applies area dodge to itself. So you're applying dodge area for 2 turns, and then you're also applying drown to all enemies, which will actually deal some damage each turn and also remove 50% of their stamina. So that's actually quite good. Let's see what we got here. So we have Soren. Is it supposed to be Siren? No? Soren. So it's a moderate water damage to all enemies, apply drown to all enemies. So it's an AoE water damage with drowned. Cool. Let's see what else we have. This skill right here, Precise Tanto, it's a low water damage to an enemy, applies guard down to an enemy, gives 1 extra turn. So you're applying guard down, you're also dealing some damage, and then you're giving yourself an extra turn. Now doing that in the beginning is actually quite good. Now we haven't seen the other skills yet because I want to check like the stamina cost and also the turn cooldown, especially the turn cooldown on the other ones. But that guard down is definitely going to be useful. Let's see what else we have. So this is a support skill, self-support actually. Shinobiri. It's a self-support where you cleanse all your tortures if you do have any cleanse, or if you do have any tortures, you can go on and cleanse that, and then also apply the area dodge to yourself for 2 turns. All right, so I guess we could equip that there for now. Let's see what else we have. Fast Tanto. It's a moderate water damage to one enemy, gives 1 extra turn to itself. Okay. So 2 extra turn skills. Interesting. Cool. And then if you want to run this skill right here, Tanto Justo Master, it's a moderate water damage to an enemy, 0 cooldown, 0 stamina. So if you want to run that over any of these skills, you can go on and do it. Now here's what I recommend doing. If you want to run Shinobi for that dodge area, right, the self-support, if you want to run it over that until you rank this monster up to rank 3, then go ahead and do so. That'd be fine, because until then, you'd probably use that skill and it could come handy. So you can run that if you want to. I think what I'll do, since it's not rank 3 yet, I could just run that, you know? It's a nice skill to have, but 40 stamina cost, 4 turn cooldown, that kind of sucks. You know what? I do go up against a lot of cooldown activators, so I do want to swap this over with the 0 cooldown skill. Now you also have another 0 cooldown skill right here. It's an AoE one. It's a low water damage though. So if you want to run that, go ahead. You also have Kenjutsu, which we already saw, and basically it just applies guard down to all enemies, and you deal heavy water damage as well to only one of them. Okay, so the heavy water damage is only to one, and the guard down to the, all the enemies in the team. Deals very heavy water damage to one enemy, applies drown to one enemy. This is a single target of the AoE one that we saw right here. Alright, so yeah, once again guys, if you want to run that skill, go ahead and do so. The self-support skill, you can do it, okay? But once you get this monster to rank 3 and above, you don't really have to run that skill. The self-support skill, which is Shinobi Yuri, you don't have to really run that. You could just run the 0 cooldown skill or any other skills that you have. But aside from that, now that I got it to level 100, I do want to make a note here, guys. Every single one of his skills that deals damage are water elements, so against his own elements he won't be able to deal that much damage, unfortunately. So for the runes, here's what you can give this monster. Okay, you can go with 2 strength with 1 speed. You can also do 3 strengths if you want to do that. Go ahead and do so. You can also do 2 strength with 1 team speed. If you want to run that, that's cool too. Now there are 3 types of ways that you can rune that monster, and those 3 I just mentioned, go ahead and do it if you would like to, but I went with 2 strength and 1 speed. I normally almost like all the time I do that for attackers. But anyways, let's go on and check out the relics. Ooh, okay. So here's what I recommend doing, guys. Okay, so for the relics, give this monster a laser beam sword. If you have laser beam sword, level it up. If it's already leveled up, you're golden then. But go ahead and give this monster a laser beam sword because you'll deal magic damage, right? Like for me right now, currently it's level 37. It'll deal 11,000 damage of magic to all enemies. Not just that, but also boost your power by 4,600 at level 37. Now, the other sword, don't give another laser beam sword. I recommend giving it a cane sword. So for those of you that have cane sword, then I recommend giving that in, okay? So giving a cane sword to this monster, there you go, and then also a laser beam sword. Now for those of you that are going to get this monster to rank 1 or above, but at least rank 1, that is when you're able to, you know, equip a obscure talent. Here's what I recommend giving. Since this monster is an extra turner attacker, what's it called? Unrelenting Assault actually works perfect for this monster. Not just that, but also you can maybe give this monster an Holy Vigor. This also works. And lastly, you can give this monster Burning Hands if you would like to as well. So Burning Hands or the other 2 that I just mentioned, give that to him. So here's what I recommend doing, guys. For those of you that are going to pair this monster up with someone, here are some of the recommended allies that I'd like to mention, okay? So you can do, for example, Cryo Crawler. This monster starts off with Taunt, but if you have it to rank 3, then you start off with Mega Taunt. But if you could get this monster to rank 1, you'll have that Taunt, right? Which will receive all the single target. And if you could get this monster to rank 3, that self-area dodge, that is just going to be a perfect combination. Now, that's just one. You can also pair this monster up with the Tails monster, the one that's in the current Tails challenge. You know what I'm talking about? The one in the Tails challenge. You can go ahead and pair it up with him. It works perfectly because he has a taunt trait. Now, lastly, you can go ahead and pair this monster up with Master Rat as well, because Master Rat has vulnerable damage skills, also water weakness, and also like the cleanse skill. So in the beginning, you can get rid of that Mega Taunt so that he basically does his thing. You know what I mean? So it just works best. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. This is the team I'm running. Let's see how this goes. All right, so as you guys can see, there is a Antspation here, Let's see how this goes though. So I take in the first turn. I'm going to quickly use Age Overseer just like that. Easy peasy. Laser Beam Sword. Fast as a shark. Ouch, that dealt so much damage, man. Ooh, that was close. I gotta say. That was quite close, I gotta say. Alright, I'm going to do Revert Events for fun. And then what I'm going to do is Mega Freeze him. Okay, so I Mega Freeze him. Watch this, okay? So as you guys can see, my Laser Beam Sword kicked in. Buffed my power up to 30,000 strength, so that's actually quite nice. Now what I could do is use my precise Tanto in the beginning and apply that guard down. Now once I apply that guard down, the Inspection kicks in, and also I dealt some damage with my laser beam sword, which you guys can see. He lost a turn, and then he's still mega frozen, right? So he's still frozen for Warren's turn. What I can do next is use this other extra turner skill right here, Fast Tanto. Bam, I dealt 21k damage and also 5k on top of that with that. Unfortunately, against Hardy, that magic damage won't deal as much because it's going to be weak since it's Hardy, basically, you know. Now, please don't tell me my game crashed. Alright, so we're back, but take a look at this. So he was still frozen, right? Now it says he's recently frozen, so he's back. He could do his thing now. But we're done. We're done with using our extra turn skills. So now what we could do is I could, for example, do my AoE water damage if I wanted to, just like that, and apply the drown as well. Easy peasy. Alrighty. Now what I can do here, I'm not gonna do that. Let me hit you with, yeah, let's do CDA for fun. Alright. I don't wanna give an extra turn and trigger the inspiration again. Oopsies. I'm in danger. Ouch. Okay, so yeah, guys, it's a 150 hardy. So what do you expect? It was a 150 against a 100. Now, if this was actually maybe a 130 versus a 150 hardy, I'm sure he would have survived that. I don't know, honestly. Maybe a 150 would have survived 100%. But anyways, take a look at this. It's a 150, 140, and a 140. This should be a nice test subject. Okay, so here we don't have any inspirators at all, right? So I can quickly give it that extra turn. Just like that, laser beam sword kicked in. I could go ahead and use my precise, just like that. Laser beam sword kicked in. I should have done it against heist since it's water, you know, water, fire, but it's fine. Unfortunately, all my stamina's gone. But remember, if you're running this skill right here, the moderate war damage, which is a 0 turn cooldown and also a 0 stamina cost, you'll be fine. You can go on and spam it as long as you want. The enemy can't do anything. And as you guys can see, the thing just kicked in. Okay, my stamina is fully gone on that monster, unfortunately. But let's see what happens here. Oh, man, are you serious? He just keeps on dying because it's a level 100 versus like 140s and 150s. Alright, so I wanted to take it to adventure map because PvP can't, he just can't handle it. You know what I mean? They're all like level 140s and 150s and he's just a level 100. Kind of sucks for him. But anyways, I'm going to do my extra turn skill right there against Voted Magma. And then use Fast Tanto, get another extra turn. And now I can do, for example, my AoE skill. I dealt 56k damage right there against both of them. I could do Revert Events maybe. So now he has all of his skills back. So he could just use all of them. Just like that. And I could do something like this. So you could literally continue spamming that skill. Over and over again. Here's what I mean. So once it's his turn, he has 16 stamina. It doesn't require any stamina. It doesn't require any cooldown or anything like that. So you're fine. Like, I could continue spamming this. You know what I mean? Over and over again. And I could just continue dealing that damage for as much as I want. Fire Trap. Oh, man. Come on. It's Voted Magma. You're pretty weak against these monsters. Shouldn't even try. But anyways, so yeah, we got this monster up to level 100 and I hope you enjoyed the review, guys. Once again, for the ruined part, you can give this monster full strength, or you could do 2 strength with 1 speed, how I did it, or you could go with 2 strength and 1 team speed. That also works. But yeah, for relics, here's what I recommend, and I also showed you guys the obscure talents as well. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, drop a like and also subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.